Hey guys, Ivan here, and in this video we'll do the analysis of the Open class Mr. Olympia 2025, so let's get right into it. So this right here is your 2025 Mr. Olympia, the best bodybuilder in the world, Derek Lansford. I did not choose this photo intentionally, no. Derek Lansford wins, and I gotta say that's not my favorite physique in the world right now, but do I agree with the result? I absolutely do. It was the best physique on that stage based on the judging criteria. That's the way I saw it at the pre-judging. Now after the finals, things shifted a little. Choopan actually won the finals, but it wasn't enough. It was only 1 point difference in the finals and 3 points difference in the pre-judging. So overall, Derek won the majority of the points and he won the whole show. And as you can see, it was very close between Derek and Choopan. We're gonna take a look at this closer in a second. In third place this time around, we actually had Andrew Jack beating Samson Dauda both at the pre-judging and very decisively at the finals, which is also very interesting. We'll take a look at that in a second. In fifth, we had Martin Fitzwater beating Nick Walker, also pretty convincingly in both pre-judging and the finals. We'll take a look at this as well. Brandon Curry in seventh, that was a surprise. I thought Brandon was gonna be done this year, but no, he came back better, improved, which is crazy. Tonio Burton in 8th, William Bonek in 9th, Good Vito actually cracking that top 10, right behind him in 11th, Bekrus Tabani in 12th, Jordan Hutchinson, Urs Kaleczinski taking 13th spot instead of 12th, Regan Grimes behind him in 14th, Rubiel Mosquera in 15th, and Sas Hirati, Changlong Shan, Dorian Haywood, Akim Williams, and Brett Wilking sharing that 16th spot. Alright, now let's take a look at this footage from the finals right here. So yeah, I can see Hadi winning because he was basically just as big as Derek, only more conditioned. The only problem that I have with Hadi's physique is that right leg of his. And because of that, I would not have him winning the Mr. Olympia. It's just too much for me. But apparently it's not too much for the judges because they actually had him winning in the finals. Derek's conditioning wasn't great, but he was peeled from behind, and that usually does it for Derek. He was huge, he was massive, he was lean from the back, soft from the front, and that wins you a Mr. Olympia in a lineup like this. Andrew Jack brought great conditioning for the first time ever, and Samson Dauda significantly downsized, very soft, improved for the finals, but it will be surprising if he came in worse or the same, because he was really bad at the pre-judging. However, this change was just not enough for him to place higher. I could probably even see Martin Fitzwater beating Samson Dauda. But that did not happen. Let's take a look at a Hadi versus Derek comparison right here. We got some higher quality photos, and from the front, especially the most muscular, Hadi basically destroys Derek in this one because of his crazy conditioning. Crazy graininess, crazy details. Now, from behind, he was also pretty good, especially the finals. He wasn't that far behind. This actually looked pretty good, and also, from what I'm hearing, Hadi was not prepped by Hani Rambod, which is crazy. So he prepped himself apparently, or he had a coach we don't know about. Considering that, this is actually looking very good. He brought in great conditioning, a lot of size. It just simply wasn't enough. I mean, he was better, a little bit better in the finals, but it wasn't enough. Derek won the pre-judging convincingly. Although when you're looking at his photos here, you can actually see how soft Derek is from the front, and because of that, you could probably make a pretty good argument that Hadi destroyed Derek at the finals, because from behind it was pretty close, and from the front it's not even close. But again, that right leg of Hadi, I would say his right pec as well. His chest is also a little bit asymmetrical. You can't really see it here, but you can see it in some other poses. And again, it didn't really look like this at the pre-judging. I don't know what Hadi did in the meantime, but he definitely hardened up a lot. At the pre-judging, Derek was just super big, really full. He had a crazy amount of size. Look at this guy right here. And also like the color, the polish. Overall, he looked like a champion for sure at the pre-judging. I think he killed it. I am not a huge fan of Derek's physique. Forget about the personality. This is bodybuilding. We're looking at physiques here. So I'm not a huge fan, but I still think he won this fair and square, especially at a prejudging, at a finals. Hadi may have edged him out. It was a close battle, for sure. It was very close between these two guys. I would love to make a video and name it Robbery. Hadi was robbed. It will probably get a lot of views, but I can't say that if I don't believe it. And no, I don't have Andrew placing above Hadi. Some people are saying that. I don't see it that way. I think Hadi is very firmly in this second, and it was very, very close between him and Derek. But hey, Derek took the win, and he is your new Mr. Olympia champion. He regained his title. I think this is the first time this happened since Jay Cutler regained his title back in 2009. He also won the Big Three, Arnold Classic earlier this year, Pittsburgh Pro, and now the Mr. Olympia. So you gotta give it to this guy, winning 3 big shows in a year, peaking every time just enough to win, to beat everybody. You can hate his personality, you can hate his physique, but you can't deny the fact that he is showing up every time and dominating. He just keeps winning right in our faces. So there is nothing I can say. Congrats, Derek Lansford. He deserved this victory fair and square. If you ask me, I don't think they chose him because he is a good representation for the sport instead of Choopan or something like that. I don't see that. I think his physique won. I don't see any politics here, to be honest, guys. Like Samson Dauda won the Mr. Olympia last year and now he's placing 4th, just like that. So I think the best physique is always going to win, and the best physique won. Now let's take a look at the top 3 and 4. The moment when Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack were in the center of this call-out, no, of course, this wasn't fight for the win, this was fight for the 3rd spot. And based on what I'm seeing right here, it seems like there was no conversation in my mind for Samson actually taking that 3rd. I think Andrew Jack blew him out of the water, and you could probably make an argument for Andrew Jack placing higher than 3rd. Because in some shots, he actually did beat everybody in the top 4, and he was the most conditioned guy. I mean, Hadi was also really conditioned, and Derek was shredded, but only from the back. Andrew Jack, who was always known for weak condition, this time around brought the best conditioning in the entire lineup, guys. So yeah, here he destroys Samson Dauda. Here is the reason why he can't place higher. It's just his side poses, especially the side chest. I don't know if he can actually fix this with different posing, or is it just that he looks like this in the side shots no matter what he does? But this does not look like a top 2 physique. But his back double bicep, which also was a weak pose for him before, now looked pretty good. I mean, his glutes were finally in. He didn't open up his back properly. I'm sure he could have done a better job here, but look at his glutes and his hamstrings and his lower back. He's in probably better condition than Hadi from behind. And compare his size to Samson's, man. Andrew Jack killed Samson here. In the most muscular, he actually looked probably even more conditioned than Hadi Choopan, which is absolutely insane. So Andrew Jack did a hell of a job here. But it seems like he's not overly thrilled with his top 3 spot at Mr. Olympia. He says, 3rd place, extremely grateful, not what was expected though, but back to the drawing board. We found a tunnel, we are working our way into the tunnel, we can see the light at the other end, and we will definitely see the light on the other side. So yeah, I guess he expected a victory. He thought he was gonna win the whole show, and it definitely could have happened. If Derek and Hadi were slightly off, slightly worse, Andrew could have won this show. He knew what was gonna happen, and he was hiding away, guys. All of the photos we saw from Andrew in the past couple of weeks were in a hoodie. He didn't show anything, and I kinda thought that that might be the reason why he's hiding away so much, because he felt like he was good, and he didn't wanna put more pressure on him. He wanted to come in here without any expectations from other people, with no pressure, and just to showcase what he worked on. And what he brought here was unarguably the best Andrew Jack we ever saw. If he improves his posing a little bit and his side shots, he can be winning the Mr. Olympia at one point. And I would love to have Andrew Jack as the Mr. Olympia. Why? You guessed it, because of his height. I would love to have Andrew Jack and Samson Dauda in that top to call out, but they still need to do a little bit more work to get to that point. I mean, Samson just needs to come in fuller. This was a peaking mistake. I mean, a prep mistake. They tried to go for crazy condition. It didn't work out, but Andrew brought it. Again, he nailed it, and you gotta give it to his coach, man. Chris Aceto won another Open Mr. Olympia title with Derek Lansford, classic physique title with Ramon Dino, and third place at a Mr. Olympia this year in the Open with Andrew Jacked. So for this year, without a doubt, this here is the best coach in the world. And if you look at the history of all the bodybuilding coaches, Chris Aceto is definitely one of the greatest of all time, probably in the top 3, along with Hani Rambert, probably Chad Nichols. He definitely has to be on that Mount Rushmore of the best coaches of all time. Now, imagine if Samson Dauda went with a top-level coach like that. I feel like Samson is kind of disappointed in coaches in general because he didn't click with Milos Sarcev, and Milos Sarcev is, you know, you either click with him or you don't click at all with him. I think that's the way it goes with Milos, and for some reason it didn't work well with Samson, and Samson started prepping basically by himself with the help of his wife. He's trying to promote his wife as like the prep coach, but really it's just Samson who is prepping himself, and he has his wife to look at him and to suggest. I don't think she's really coaching him. A lot of bodybuilders doing things that way. That doesn't mean that their wives are top level Mr. Olympia level coaches. It's just Samson with crazy genetics who doesn't need a lot of help from anybody else, really. But at this point, I think he really needs a coach. So if he went with somebody like Chris Aceto, or if he doesn't want a top-level coach who already has a bunch of high-level clients, you can go with somebody else who is not that level, who doesn't have many or any top Olympians, but is very knowledgeable. For example, my suggestion is Andrew Barry. I think that guy is probably one of the most knowledgeable coaches in the world right now. Nick Walker almost picked him instead of Kyle Wilkes. Maybe picking Kyle Wilkes was a mistake because you see what happened at the Mr. Olympia. We'll talk about that in a second. So if Samson went with somebody like Andrew Barry or somebody high level like, I don't know, Stefan Kinsel or Chris Aceto, I think Samson can definitely win the Mr. Olympia next year very, very easily. And with Andrew Jack to crack the top 2, that's a possibility for next year. We'll see what's going to happen. This is the post Samson made, and he says, sometimes doing everything right still doesn't give you the result you hoped for. We came in 4th this year at the Mr. Olympia. I won't lie, it hurts. I listened, I adjusted, I brought the best version of myself to the stage. Leaner, sharper, and in the best condition of my life. But in chasing perfection, I paid the price for not being the bigger version. Still, I hold my head high because what we achieved, what Mel and I built together was something special. The journey, the growth, the resilience, that's what defines a true athlete. I'm not sure what he's saying here. He says sometimes doing everything right still doesn't give you the result you hoped for. I listened, I adjusted. Basically what he's saying is his wife messed him up. That's the way it seems, like he's blaming his coach. And it's his wife that is coaching him. He says, I listened, I adjusted, I did everything right. No, Samson, you did not do everything right. You went for condition and you did it wrong. Yes, of course, nailing the condition is crucial, but not at a cost of losing muscle. So you need better coaching. You need somebody to tell you how to do this, how to get in better shape while not losing any size. And if possible, to actually come in bigger, because Derek was freaking massive. I think Derek was probably bigger than Samson last year. So even if Samson was 100% the way he was last year, I don't know if he would win. He probably needs to get even bigger and more conditioned than last year if he wants to stay the Mr. Olympia. So what he was doing was not the right approach. You can't just go with condition and come in like this. And he says he was in the best condition of his life. No, he wasn't. Maybe his body fat percent was the lowest if you measure it on a scale, but on the stage it did not look like his best condition. Last year, he definitely looked more detailed. Was it because he was fuller or because he was actually leaner? Who the hell cares? This is not a body fat percent measuring contest. You either look conditioned on stage or you don't, and Samson did not. And that's not because he did everything right, it's because he did things wrong. So definitely, without a doubt, it's time for not a new coach, it's time for a coach. Because right now, he doesn't really have a coach. He has his wife helping him. That's completely different from having a coach who is your authority. That's the way I see it, guys. If you see it otherwise, tell me down below. Alright, now as far as Martin Fitzwater versus Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater finally got his revenge. He finally beat Nick Walker after losing to him at the New York Pro, then again at the Pittsburgh Pro, but he finally managed to beat Nick at the Mr. Olympia. Even though Martin placed 5th compared to his 4th place last year, I'm sure he's over the moon because he only beat Nick Walker at this show, and he deserved it, man, for sure. But I don't know if he should be overly happy. He actually beat a very, very weak version of Nick Walker. Nick Walker who completely failed to bring condition. What the hell happened this year? I'm really curious to hear. Nick did not say anything yet. Once he does, I'll make a video about it. So guys, stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. He was just not in shape, man. He was just not in condition. And that's why he was that much heavier. It was all fat and water. So if he was in better shape, I think he would be in the top call-out. I can definitely see him beating Samson Dauda. Nick from the Pittsburgh Pro versus Samson Dauda at this year's Mr. Olympia. Nick wins for sure. I don't know about Andrew Jack and Choopan, but Nick would be in that mix. However, he completely failed to deliver the condition, and this is what happened. He ended up all the way down to 6th. Martin looked great. You could make an argument for him actually beating Samson, for sure. We did not get to see that call out, but I think that was definitely a possibility because Martin brought it. And, you know, Martin is very good. Like, he has size, he has decent aesthetics, he has great conditioning. I don't think he is much smaller than Samson. Like, he's not Derek Lansford or Choopan size, but he's beating Nick Walker, and when he stands next to Nick, he doesn't look that much smaller, so I don't see why Martin couldn't have beaten Samson Dauda at this show. They did not let him do that, but he could have won. He could have placed 4th at this show as well, like last year. He delivered, man. He delivered for sure. Like, he needs to improve still a little bit more over the years. I can definitely see this guy in the top 2, top 3 call out as the older guys start falling out, like Samson, like Hadi. But yeah, Martin Fitzwater beat Nick Walker at this show. And as far as Nick, guys, I don't know what to say. I mean, a huge disappointment. Soon, I'm sure we'll find out what happened, what went wrong, but even in the interviews, you could hear in his voice and see it in his face that he knew he was failing to deliver. He still played his role of the overconfident guy, but he knew that he didn't mean what he was saying. Check this out.
Now, is my next interview going to be interviewing the new Mr. Olympia backstage Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm confident that I will be Mr. Olympia come Saturday.
Did that sound confident to you guys? Definitely not confident. He just played that role. He knew, like, what's he gonna say? I'm gonna lose? Of course, he played it all the way till the end, and he presented what he presented, and, you know, he didn't pull out. That's still a win. But something definitely went wrong in this prep. I don't know what it is. As soon as I find out, again, guys, I'll make a video about it. So, again, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel. And here is something also very, very interesting where a lot of us made a mistake. Urs Kolecinski actually doesn't really lack size compared to basically everybody out of that top 7, let's say. Urs can't match Brandon Curry's conditioning, but everybody else, he's right there. And Behruz Tabani is somebody a lot of us made a mistake with. We thought he can be in the top 5. If he was in better condition, if he peaked better, if he actually looked better, if he was in the United States like a month before the Mr. Olympia, would he place higher? Sure, he lost to William Bonek here and he beat William Bonek multiple times before. So this was not Behruz at his best, but still, guys, he does not have enough size, especially in the legs, but overall, he's in that second tier, let's put it that way, of bodybuilders, and he is definitely matching with Urs in terms of size. Urs did not get smoked by guys like Behruz Tabani, Jordan Hutchinson, William Bonek, even Nexila. I mean, Urs beat Nexila. Even from the back, Urs's back is not great, but he's not that much behind these other guys from that, let's say, second tier at the Mr. Olympia. And I don't know what he did to those arms and those lats, but they are looking pretty freaking crazy now. Maybe even a little bit too big compared to the rest of his body. But I mean, no, it's looking good. Let's just give this guy some more time, and in a couple of years, I'm sure he's going to be placing much higher than he did right here. So once again, guys, Derek Lansford makes history and wins his second Mr. Olympia title after losing last year, which is definitely historic. Your new Mr. Olympia is Derek Lansford, second spot Choopan, third Andrew Jack, fourth Samson Dauda, and fifth Martin Fitzwater. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. If you guys need online coaching, DM me over at Instagram, even bodybuilding coaching. And also, if you guys wanna buy Blackstone Lab supplements, use the code EVAN for a 15% discount. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon, all the best, and bye-bye.